Your network layer is probably the least type-safe part of your entire code base. You spent hours modeling your domain with perfect interfaces. And then you fetch a URL as a string, pass JSON into any, and pray. By the end of this video, you'll have a client where the URL, the request body, the query params, and the response are all inferred automatically. Misspell a field, and the compiler stops you before you ship. Let's build it from absolute zero. Here's the typical fetch call you've written 1,000 times. You hit a URL, await the response, call.json, and TypeScript hands you any. From this line onward, every property access is unchecked. The compiler is blind, and your editor gives you zero autocomplete. This is the gap we're closing. Here's our destination. A single client object where you call a method, pass typed inputs, and get back a fully typed result. Every endpoint is registered once with its path, method, body schema, and response schema. After that, your editor knows everything. This is the architecture we'll assemble piece by piece. Let's scaffold. We initialize a fresh project, install Zod for runtime validation, and pull in the latest TypeScript. As of May 2026, we're on TypeScript 5.8, which has rock-solid inference for the patterns we'll use. We also enable strict mode, non-negotiable for this kind of work. The foundation is the endpoint definition. We describe each route as an object literal, an HTTP method, a path template, and Zod schemas for the body and the response. Notice we use as const style, narrowing through a helper, so TypeScript preserves the literal types instead of widening them to plain strings. This literal preservation is what makes everything downstream inferable. That const modifier on the type parameter is doing heavy lifting. Without it, TypeScript widens your path string from the literal users.id to just string, and you lose the ability to pass parameters out of it. With const, the literal survives. This is a TypeScript 5 feature that replaced the older trick of writing as const at every call site. Now let's define a couple of real routes. A get for fetching a user by ID and a post to create one with a validated body. The Zod schemas serve double duty. They validate at runtime and will extract static types from them with z.infer. One source of truth for both worlds. Here's where it gets fun. We want to extract every colon parameter from a path string at the type level. We write a recursive conditional type using template literal pattern matching. It peels off each segment, checks if it starts with a colon, and accumulates the parameter names into an object type. The result? Feed it users.id, and you get a typed params object requiring an ID. Let's prove it works with a type level assertion. We use a tiny expect equal helper, the kind you'll find in libraries like Typefest. If the computed params don't match exactly, the compiler errors right here. Type tests like this are your safety net when building inference-heavy code. Next, we bridge Zod schemas into static types. z.infer gives us the output type of a schema. We build helper types that, given an endpoint definition, extract its body type and its response type. Where there's no body schema, we collapse to never, so the caller isn't forced to pass one. Clean, conditional, and fully automatic. Now we assemble a single request args type per endpoint. It combines the path params, an optional body, and optional query params into one object. The trick here is conditional spreading. If the endpoint has no path params, we don't require a params key at all. We use a key remapping map type to strip empty objects, so the call signature stays minimal. Before we build the client, let's design our result type. Throwing exceptions loses type information. Instead, we return a discriminated union, an OK variant carrying the parsed data, or an ERR variant carrying a typed error. The OK boolean is the discriminant. When you narrow on it, TypeScript knows exactly which fields are available. This is the Rust-style result pattern, and it's a perfect fit here. We need a runtime function that turns the path template and the params into a real URL. It walks each segment, and where a segment starts with a colon, it substitutes the matching param value, URL encoding it. Notice the runtime mirrors exactly what our type computed. The contract between compile time and runtime stays honest. Now the heart of the client. This generic request function takes an endpoint definition and the typed args. It builds the URL, attaches the JSON body if there is one, and fires fetch. Crucially, it never throws on a bad response. A non-OK HTTP status becomes a typed HTTP error. A thrown fetch becomes a network error. Everything funnels into our result union. Static types vanish at runtime, so we don't trust the server blindly. We run the response payload through the endpoint's Zod schema with safe pass. If it fails, we return a validation error carrying the exact issues. If it passes, Zod hands us a value that is guaranteed to match our inferred response type. Compile time and runtime now agree completely. Calling request with an endpoint every time is clunky. Let's build a factory that takes our whole endpoint map and returns a client object with one method per route. We use a mapped type over the keys of the registry, and each method's signature is derived from its endpoint. The result is an object where API.getUser is fully typed without any manual declarations. Here's the payoff. We create the client from our API registry, and now every call is type checked. GetUser demands a params object with an ID. CreateUser demands a body matching the schema. And the return data is narrowed by checking result.ok. No casts, no any, no guesswork. Your editor lights up with every field. Let's break things on purpose to feel the safety. Forget the params object and the compiler complains. Misspell email in the body and it flags it. Try to read a field that isn't on the response schema and you get an immediate error. Every one of these would have been a silent runtime bug in the untyped version we started with. Let's tighten query params. Right now they're a loose record. We can let each endpoint declare a query schema to and infer a precise query type from it. We extend the endpoint definition and the request args so that endpoints with a query schema get a strongly typed query object. Optional fields and enums included. Same pattern, applied one level deeper. At runtime, we serialize the typed query into a search string. We use URL search params, skipping undefined values and coercing numbers to strings. This keeps the runtime simple while the types stay rich. Plug this into the request function right where we build the URL. Production clients need cross-cutting behavior. Auth headers, request IDs, logging. We add an interceptor option to the client factory, a function that receives the outgoing request init and returns a modified one. Async is allowed, so you can refresh tokens on the fly. This stays fully type safe because it operates on the standard request init shape. Flaky networks demand retries. We wrap the request in a small retry loop that only retries on network errors and 5xnext statuses. Never on a 4xex, which is your fault, not the server's. We use exponential backoff with jitter, so a thundering herd doesn't hammer a recovering service. The result type makes the retry condition trivial to express. Let's run the whole thing against a live endpoint with TSX. We fire a getUser call, narrow on the result, and log the typed data. The terminal shows a clean success. Then we hit a missing user and watch the typed HTTP error come back instead of an unhandled exception. Predictable, structured, and fully typed all the way through. If your backend already publishes an OpenAPI spec, you don't have to handwrite every schema. Tools like OpenAPI Zod client generate Zod schemas straight from the spec, and you feed those into your define endpoint calls. You get the same end-to-end safety with almost zero boilerplate. This is the sweet spot for teams in 2026. Generated schemas, hand-built ergonomics. A word of caution. Deeply recursive conditional types can slow your editor to a crawl on large registries. Keep your template literal recursion shallow, prefer interfaces over giant intersections, and split endpoint groups across modules. If TSC gets sluggish, run with the extended diagnostics flag to find the type that's blowing up your compile time. Step back and see what we built. A registry of endpoints feeds a generic factory. Template literal types extract path params. Zod schemas drive both inference and runtime validation. And a discriminated result threads typed errors through retries and interceptors. Every layer reinforces the next. This is composition at the type level, and it scales. You now have a blueprint you can drop into any TypeScript project. Try extending it with response caching, request deduplication, or a React hook wrapper. Push the type system. It can take it. The full code is linked in the description, so clone it and make it your own. So here's what you walked away with. 1. How template literal and conditional types extract path parameters automatically from a root string. 2. How Zod schemas give you a single source of truth for both static types and runtime validation. And 3. How a discriminated result union plus retries and interceptors turns a raw fetch into a production-grade typed client. Next up in the TypeScript Advanced playlist, we go even deeper with branded types and building a fully type-safe state machine. If this leveled up your TypeScript, hit subscribe and drop a comment with the hardest typing problem in your own API layer. I'll tackle the best ones in a future video.